Hey, it's Andrea here. Not too long ago, I was drowning in my daily grind, juggling work, side hustles, and trying to maintain some kind of social life. Can anyone relate? It felt like every single second of my day was booked up, and I thought, there's just no way I can save money in this chaos. But then, I took a step back and started looking for ways to make my life both simpler and more budget-friendly. And guess what? I discovered some absolute game changers. Now, I genuinely believe that no matter how packed our schedules are, we can still save some cash without turning our lives upside down. And so, I compiled 15 of these easy money-saving tips for all my fellow busy bees out there. So if you're new here or you've been hanging around without hitting that subscribe button, go ahead and do it now. All right, guys, let's talk about breakfast. You know how some mornings you're scrambling to get out the door and there's just no time to make something healthy? We either skip breakfast or grab some pricey and not so nutritious snacks from the nearest store. Enter smoothie prep packs. This is a total game changer and is one of my favorite hacks. Every weekend, when I'm chilling out or watching some TV, I take a few minutes to pack freezer bags with a mix of fruits, veggies, and protein powder. And on those wild mornings, when I'm literally racing against time, I grab one of these packs, toss it into the blender with some water, and give it a quick whirl. And I got myself a refreshing, nutritious breakfast in less than 5 minutes. And it's way cheaper than those store-bought smoothies. All right, now let's talk about dinner. You know those days when you come home after a super long day and the last thing you want to do is slave away in the kitchen? Been there, done that, or worse, you end up ordering some takeout that's not only pricey, but also doesn't hit those health goals. This is where the magic of one-pot meals comes in. So I recently got into using a slow cooker, and let me tell you, it's like having a personal chef waiting for you at home. All I do is dump my ingredients in the pot in the morning, set it, forget it, and then, by the time I'm back home, I'm welcomed by the aroma of a delicious, ready-made meal. By pre-planning these meals, I often buy my ingredients in bulk, and you know what that means? Savings. A lot of times, stores give you a solid discount when you're buying more. So it's like a double win. Save money and save time. Now guys, let me ask you a question. You ever have that thing where you're eyeing something online, maybe it's a new gadget or those shoes you've been drooling over, and then next week, the price shoots up? Or even worse, a few days after you buy it, the price drops and you're just sitting there like, seriously? We've all been there, right? Well, let me introduce you to my little online shopping sidekick, Dynamic Pricing Insights. There are these super nifty browser extensions that keep an eye on prices for you. So instead of you having to stock a product daily or just hoping you're getting a good deal, these extensions give you a heads up when the price drops. For me, this has been a total game changer. Think about it, we're all busy. We've got jobs, families, side hustles, and a million other things. Who's got the time to keep checking prices? With these extensions, I've saved a bunch on stuff I was going to buy anyway. And the best part? It's all on autopilot. I just set it up once, and it does all the heavy lifting for me. All right, now let's talk about a little habit I've been trying out lately. Now, I'm the first to admit I can be a bit of an impulsive online shopper. So here's a challenge I set for myself: digital no-spend days. Basically, I pick one day a week where I put a big pause button on all my online shopping habits. It might sound simple, but it's a lot harder than it seems, especially when you come across those tempting deals or limited time offers. But here's the crazy part. After doing this for a few months, I checked my bank statement and, let me tell ya, the savings were real. It's mind-blowing how those little purchases add up, especially for us busy folks who sometimes opt for convenience over cost. For all my fellow busy bees out there, give it a try. Designate one day a week to hold off on those clicks and taps. You might just find that it not only helps your wallet, but also gives you a break from the constant digital noise. And if you want to try other cool money-saving challenges or habits, you better check the description box for some videos. Okay guys, tell me if this sounds like you. You're chilling on a Saturday night, looking for a new show to binge, and you realize you've got like, what? 4, 5, maybe even more streaming subscriptions. Before you know it, you're shelling out a small fortune every month. And let's be real, do we even have the time to watch all that content? Enter my new strategy: rotate subscription services. So instead of paying for all these platforms month after month, I decided to play it smart. I'd subscribe to one, go on a watching spree, catch up on all the shows and movies I'm into. And then, when I feel like I've seen everything I wanted, I hit pause and switch over to the next one. The beauty of this? First, the savings, obviously. But also, it keeps things fresh. You get to fully explore one platform, dive deep into its offerings, and then, just as you start feeling like you've seen it all, you hop over to another service with a whole new world of content. It's like a TV buffet. Next, I'll share something that blew my mind when I first heard about it: phantom energy. It's the sneaky way our devices are slurping up power even when we think they're off. But don't worry, I found a neat little solution: smart plugs. These plugs can sense when a device isn't in use and turn it off completely. So no more vampire devices sipping on power while you're out hustling. Plus, with some of these plugs, you can even set schedules or control them with your phone. Did you forget to turn off your space heater in the morning rush? No worries, just tap your phone and it's off. Speaking of electricity, let's talk about lights. Remember those bulbs that got super hot if you touched them? Or the ones that went out so frequently you felt like you were constantly replacing them? Now I've got a bright idea for you: LED lights. First off, they last a heck of a lot longer. I mean, I switched over to LEDs in my place, and I can't even remember the last time I had to replace one. And for someone as swamped and forgetful as me, that's a blessing. They also consume way less electricity. Now, I get it. When you're out shopping and you see the price of an LED bulb compared to the regular ones, it might give you pause. They're a tad pricier up front, I won't lie. But trust me on this, they pay for themselves in no time with the money you save on energy bills and fewer replacements. Now enough of electricity, let me paint you a picture. You're all set for that weekend getaway or that business trip. Bags packed, the checklist is done. But then the panic sets in. Who's going to feed Mr. Whiskers? Or water that precious plant you've somehow managed not to kill yet? Before you know it, you're shelling out big bucks for pet sitters or plant care services. Here's a little trick I've started doing, and let me tell you, it's been a lifesaver: shared care routines. It's like a buddy system for our furry friends and green buddies. Whenever I'm heading out of town, instead of hiring someone, I team up with my mates. We've got this little system going. I look after their pets or plants when they're away, and they return the favor when I'm out. Think about it. We all have those friends or neighbors we trust, right? Why not lean on each other and save some cash in the process? It's a win-win. Now guys, let's talk business for a sec. Well, business meetups to be exact. Remember those days when every professional catch-up meant heading to that hipster coffee shop downtown? Don't get me wrong, I love a good latte as much as the next guy, but between the cost of those fancy drinks and the hassle of commuting, let's just say it starts to add up. Here's the switch I made that's been a game changer: virtual networking. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't that just Zoom calls? But trust me, it's way more than that. With so many platforms and tools out there, networking from home has never been easier or more effective. The perks? First off, I'm saving a ton not having to buy those overpriced beverages every time I want to discuss business. That's more money in the bank for other ventures. And no more getting stuck in traffic or searching endlessly for parking. I can hop from one meeting to the next without ever leaving my comfy chair. And for all my fellow busy bees, think about how efficient this makes our days. We can squeeze in more meetups, connect with people from all over the world, and still have time to tackle our to-do lists. So if you're still hopping from one cafe to another for your professional chats, maybe give virtual networking a try. I have also recently dived into the public library's online resources, and it's like hitting a jackpot. From ebooks to online courses, magazines, and even some movies, they've got it all. And the best part, most of this stuff is absolutely free. Yup, you heard me right. Now, for my fellow hustlers always on the go, this is pure gold. It's knowledge at our fingertips without burning a hole in our pockets. The next game-changing move I recently made is refill stations. You might have seen these popping up in some local stores. Instead of grabbing a brand new packaged item off the shelf, you just bring your own container, fill it up, and only pay for what you take. It's as simple as that. Whether it's soap, grains, coffee, or even laundry detergent, there's a growing list of goodies you can refill. Now, I know we're all strapped for time, but here's why it's a win for us busy folks. First up, cost. You're not paying extra for fancy packaging. Just the pure product. Now time for some real talk. Cleaning. It's got to be done, right? But have you noticed how much store-bought cleaning supplies can cost? And the list of chemicals on the back. So I discovered DIY cleaning solutions. It's honestly as simple as mixing stuff like vinegar, baking soda, and a few other household staples. The magic. These bad boys can tackle anything from stubborn stains to funky smells. Now you might be thinking, who has the time for DIY? Hang in there with me. Just whip up a batch in minutes, store it, and you're good to go for weeks. Plus, think about the last-minute runs to the store you'll avoid because you're out of cleaners. With DIY, it's just a quick mix, and you're back in business. Another cool thing, you know exactly what's in your mix. No weird chemicals or stuff you can't pronounce. Money saved, peace of mind, and a little eco-friendly pat on the back. That's a triple win, my friends. Let me drop a little kitchen secret on you. Have you ever whipped up a dish and thought, this could use a little kick of basil, or some fresh mint would hit the spot right now? Then you sprint to the store, and your jaw drops seeing the price for a tiny pack of herbs. Been there and felt that pain. But then I stumbled upon the game changer, the home herb garden. For us busy bees, this is the hack. First, convenience, creating some fresh rosemary. Snip, snip, and it's in your dish. No more store runs, no more settling for dried herbs when you dream of fresh. It's like having a flavor arsenal right at your fingertips. Cost-wise, major savings. Those tiny herb packets at stores, they add up. With your own garden, it's a one-time setup cost, and you're rolling in fresh flavors for ages. Now, if you're anything like me, your devices are packed with apps. Some you hadn't even opened in months, right? Or maybe you're drowning in subscription emails for stuff you barely remember signing up for. Well, here's a trick I've adopted: digital decluttering. It's not just about tidying up, it's about leveling up. First, ever got that annoying notification that your storage is almost full? And then you're tempted to buy more digital storage or even a new device. By regularly clearing out unused apps and junk, I've dodged those costs. For all of us constantly racing against time, efficiency is the name of the game. A cleaner, more organized device makes finding what you need a breeze. No more scrolling through a gazillion apps to find the one you want. Time saved. Priceless. Now, I stumbled on this life hack that I believe everyone should do: the delayed gratification system. Here's the deal. Whenever I'm about to splurge on something non-essential, I hit the pause button and wait 48 hours. That's it. Just 2 days to mull it over. You know us, busy people. We're often on the go, juggling a lot of things, and sometimes we make hasty decisions as a little treat or a quick stress buster. But those innocent impulse buys, they add up and our wallets feel it. By giving myself that 48-hour window, something magical happens. I realize I don't actually need it, or sometimes I even forget about it. And every time that happens, money stays right where it should. And on those rare occasions when, after 2 days, I'm still all about that purchase, it feels so much better. 'Cause then I know it's not just an impulse, it's something I genuinely want or value. So as we've seen today, being frugal is all about making smart choices that align with our modern, fast-paced lives. If any of these tips resonated with you, or if you have your own to share, hit that like button and let me know down in the comments. Let's make this year our most financially savvy year yet.